What's good, everyone? We're finally here. 3x3 is back at the Olympics, and this is the 10-minute sprint. For the next 10 days, we'll be covering 3x3 basketball's return to the Olympic Games. My name is Greydy Diaz, and I'm joined by former World Cup finalist Boss the Mountain Rozendaal. Boss, how are you doing?
Greydy, I am doing amazing. So excited to be on the show with you for the next 10 days. We have so much to talk about today. Player parade, the media day, how the teams qualified, and our expert predictions for the medals.
Boss, the player parade took place on Friday.
Did.
Lady Gaga and Celine Dion performed.
They did.
And we had an amazing player parade on River Seine. Maybe I'm biased, but Team USA looked nice and preppy on their boat. You couldn't miss the Plouffe sisters in their red-on-red uniforms for Canada. The Dutchies are worthy of a mention with their smooth white and orange uniform. And I'm not gonna lie, we wish Mongolia was back playing 3x3 at the Olympics just to wear their jaw-dropping vests at the parade. I heard each outfit took 20 hours to make.
Yeah, wow. Greydy, speaking of being biased, you mentioned my Dutchies looking fancy in their uniform. How amazing did it feel to have three of our own bear the flag for their country? It was such an honor to see the reigning Olympic champion Nars Miezes do his duties for Latvia. And then a few minutes later, it was Worthy de Jong for the Netherlands. Last but not least, Przemek Zamoyski bearing the Polish flag, and that's right, 3 out of 64 3x3 players out there, the ultimate proof that our game is for high IQ athletes with nerves of steel who do not shy away from their responsibilities.
Now, speaking of responsibilities, Boss, and before we dive into how the teams made their Olympic debut at the Paris Olympics, we thought it was our duty to take a moment and pay homage to a man who covered 3x3 at Tokyo Olympics.
Yes, Grady. Corey Williams was a huge part of the 3x3 community. In many ways, his life was a reflection of 3x3's motto, from the streets to the Olympics. Corey passed away 2 months ago, and to this day, it still tears me up to hear what he said on the final episode of the Tokyo Olympic show.
To see street ball come from the playground to be an Olympic sport and me be a part of it in this way, it just all came full circle. Like, it's unreal. It's unreal, and I'm so grateful and honored to have a sport that pretty much saved my life. You know, and I'm here now covering it in the Olympics, man. This is the pinnacle. Like, it's the Olympics.
The Tokyo Olympics marked 3x3's Olympic debut. 16 teams wrote history in the very special context of the COVID-19 pandemic, and it was a movie. The game was as advertised, faster than gossip, competitive, and so dramatic.
That's right. Every team lost at least one game. Over a quarter of the games were decided by one basket only, and legends were born. After an unbelievable tournament, USA won gold, the Russian Olympic Committee got silver, and then China stuck bronze in the women's category. And finally, on the men's side, the Latvian national team made an entire nation proud by winning the Olympic title against the Russian Olympic Committee, while favored Serbia won the bronze.
Boss, none of us made it to the Tokyo Olympics. Maybe Team USA didn't think my jumper was wet enough.
I think a mistake.
But we both know a player who was out there taking ankles in Tokyo, my girl, Raylin D'Elia from Team Italy, who won the World Cup and MVP back in 2018. Ray, thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing?
Hey, what's up, everybody? I am excited for the Olympics, and the 3x3 cannot wait to see what's going on.
And we are so excited too. Listen, we saw our 3x3 players nail it at the player parade on Friday. First things first, what are your most vivid memories of the opening ceremony in Tokyo, considering you were the first ever to make it from the streets to the Olympics?
Definitely the opening ceremony. It was a little different. It wasn't on a river, and there was a stadium that had no fans. But I think that was the most euphoric moment of my sports career. Just like walking with all those athletes into the ceremony was an incredible just feeling. And being in the village with all of the other athletes, it felt like being in heaven's greatest neighborhood. You just looked around, you saw high level athletes performing their sport just like on the street, warming up, and it was incredible.
Ray, the players are now just 2 days away from playing their first game in Paris. Talk about how it felt for you and your teammates just a few hours away from the biggest tournament in your career.
I just remember there was always this sense of excitement. It almost brought you back to a childlike state of just being in pure joy. And there was stress that came along with it, just because you're at the Olympic Games, you're understanding that this is the biggest, probably competitive moment of my life. So you're trying to balance excitement and stress all at the same time. But I think as you just kind of live in the moment and allow yourself to enjoy every moment, you get to be able to become a person that really just is at the epic of the moment of their career and enjoy the ride, just enjoy the process. And I just remember the joy is still with me today from being able to experience that.
Ray, as you just said, the Tokyo women's tournament was already very competitive, but when we look back at teams in Paris, it feels like it went a whole different level. How much do you feel the women's game has developed in just 3 years?
Oh yeah, the 3x3 game is just continuously getting better. From when I entered in 2017, I think was my first tournament, to today. It's just like in every year it gets better and better. Players are developing, the game's developing, and this year at the Olympics is by far the most competitive tournament I think that we've ever seen, especially on the women's side. And I'm excited to see how it all goes down. I don't think I'm gonna miss a game, so I'm gonna be locked in.
Well, Ray, thanks for those insights, and hope to see you around soon on the 3x3 court.
Yes, have a great time.
Now, Greydy, our next guest is an absolute 3x3 legend. Steve Sir has been the best shooter in the games for years now, and just when we thought he was retiring from the game, and look, we'd made a tribute video, he came back after the Tokyo Olympics to move from Canada to bring Mongolian 3x3 to a whole different level. Steve, how are you doing? So Steve.
Sorry guys, hi.
Oh, there you go. We couldn't hear you.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being on. So Steve, let me pick your brain here. In the last 3 years, we've seen some breathtaking venues, both on the World Tour and the Women's Series. And I think the World Cup also went up to a whole different dimension. How much bigger do you feel 3x3 has become since the Tokyo Olympics?
It keeps growing by leaps and bounds. The talent level, it rises every season, in particular, you know, leading up to the next Paris Olympics. Teams continue to improve across the board on the men's side, on the women's side, and also countries have really set an example for new countries to come in that are getting involved in 3x3 of venues, professionalism, how to portray the sport, best locations for it to really showcase the players and what 3x3 means to a city when it arrives. So huge steps have been taken, but it's also exciting to see where this will go after Paris, because I think we all can say this is going to be the next giant leap for the sport, with all the eyes and actual fans that are able to be there and enjoy the game in person live in Paris.
Steve, the fact that you were recruited to join Team Ulaanbaatar in Mongolia and coach both the national team is another great example of professionalization of 3x3. How much more professional has 3x3 become in just 3 years?
Really liked how you said Ulaanbaatar there. You've got experience with that. That was really on mark. You know, same thing. It continues to grow by leaps and bounds. Ray mentioned it in her segment. In 2017, there were good players in 3x3, but it wasn't a sport that players were doing full-time, dedicating all their energy and effort towards. There were a handful of guys that were, and now you see players that are completely committed to 3x3 around the calendar year. Coaches, physio, support staff, federations have all gotten behind teams on the men's and women's side. And as we mentioned before, the play has continued to grow. The talent has continued to go up. It's meant nothing but good things for basketball in all these different areas of the world. And it's going to be on full display in Paris. This is going to be the best tournament on the men's and on the women's side that I think we've seen. It's going to be the most competitive. So everyone's going to get a chance to really enjoy that and see just exactly where 3x3 is.
Well, Steve, thanks for hopping on. Thanks for joining. We'll be looking forward to seeing you get buckets again at the Sukbatar Challenger in just 2 weeks.
Boss, it's sharpshooters.
Thanks, guys.
Boss, it's sharpshooters after sharpshooters on the show today. We couldn't possibly talk about Paris without calling former Team Paris captain Angelo, aka the Tsar, who won bronze on the same World Cup you won silver, boss. You asked me to remind Angelo, right?
I like that.
How are you doing, Angelo? Welcome.
Oh, I see what you did there.
No
I
worries.
see what you did there. You wanted to take a shot at me? No problem. I mean, if anything, at the end of the day, you could never shoot like me. You can ask my gold medals. We can talk about that one. But no, brother, on love, you know that. Thank you for having me. It's a true pleasure being a part of the show and also being able to talk about this amazing event that is about to start in my city, Paris, at home.
Angelo, where I'm from, when people think about Paris, they think about the Eiffel Tower. That's what comes to mind. You were telling us Paris is actually one of the meccas of streetball and 3x3, is that right?
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, we're talking about back in the day when 3x3 was not an Olympic sport. They already had the black top with Adidas. They had all these tournaments in the early 90s. They even had it with the NBA players coming to Bercy in the heart of Paris to showcase their talent. They already had 3x3 at the halftime the way they had it in the US a little bit earlier this year. So it's absolutely amazing. You got the best streetball tournament in the K54 in the Paris area year after year. It's almost going to be 20 years, and it's the only Jordan team sponsored event in the whole world. So you're talking about 3x3 or 5-on-5 streetball, the hip hop culture. I mean, this is it.
Hey, look, Angelo, we had some mind-blowing 3x3 venues in Paris in the last few years, including a ridiculous Eiffel Tower backdrop for the Europe Cup in 21. What can you tell us about the Olympic venue and how stunning the views will be yet again?
Well, it's fantastic, and the funny thing is I've had the honor as a player to participate in amazing events in all the best venues. I played at the Trocadero, I played at the Tokyo Palace, and I've had the honor to play at the Concorde. And the Concorde, where the Olympic venue is pretty special, maybe the most special, because how amazing is it? How classy is it that you gotta just to walk about 30 seconds and you can take a stroll on the Champs-Élysées where you have the Arc of Triumph waiting for you at the top. So if you really want to give a hint of how the French architecture and the buildings and everything is, everybody always talk about the Champs-Élysées. So to have it at the Concorde, you couldn't beat that if it wasn't at the Trocadero.
Angelo, we read that the French sports newspaper L'Equipe had the French women's national team winning gold in their predictions. Obviously, we also have the men's team who made it from the OQT. What do you think are both French teams' chances in Paris?
Well, they're very good. They're very good, and I think all the teams' chances are very good, besides maybe one or two in each pool that are a little bit or a click under, which is me being honest about it. But at the end of the day, it's still 3x3, and we've had many surprises over the years. But in this format, where you only have 8 teams, you literally have 3 medals to give out for 8 participants. So your chances are very high. That's number one. Number two, when you think of the pedigree, when you think of the resume of the women's and men's French teams, they are legitimate favorites. They are legitimate candidates, even though I don't think the women nor the men are the favorites. But they could be your dark horses to get that gold and definitely clear candidates for a medal.
All right. Well, Angelo, thank you. The Czar, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll see you around the court soon.
Boss, yesterday we caught up with 8 teams in the women's category during Media Day. A chance for us to take a few snaps, check their sneaker game, and of course, ask them a few questions. We're gonna play a few clips starting with reigning 3x3 world champ Team USA's Hailey Van Lith and Paige Cresson from Canada.
What I like most about the village is just seeing all the athletes and all the countries just having so much respect and so much humility. It's been such a surreal experience. We have seen quite a few of the other 3x3 teams throughout the village, so it's been so exciting to see them in this atmosphere and all they have worked for as well.
The player parade was a really special moment. It was awesome to be surrounded by all my Team USA athletes and get to meet them, get to talk, and most importantly, celebrate our country and our participation in the games.
What I like most about the village is just seeing all the athletes and all the countries just having so much respect and so much humility. It's been such a surreal experience. We have seen quite a few of the other 3x3 teams.
Last time she played, she won a gold medal and an MVP trophy in Paris. We sat down with Sandra Igravida of Spain, and we also had a quick chat with Sonja Greinacher from Germany, who probably had the rockiest preparation of any team in Paris.
The road to Paris wasn't the same for everyone though, and if we get as much drama in France as we did during the qualifiers, boss, we're in for a great treat.
Definitely.
I feel pretty comfortable. I feel like the team did a pretty nice preparation. I think we were doing like some women's series that help us a lot to be prepared for what is coming. We play against some teams that are here with us, so I think it was a good preparation, and I think we're gonna be ready for what is coming.
Me personally, I also had a little bit of a hiccup. I broke my hand 2 weeks ago, but I had some meetings with specialists, and now I'm good to go. Luckily, it was quite easy to get Elisa integrated. She's played with us before, she's played with us last season, and knows the system, knows the team, so it's been going great.
So Grady, after hearing from Sonia and Sandra, I want to take you back to November last year. 6 teams, 3 men's, 3 women's, already got rewarded for their domination of the FIBA Federation ranking. That's how 6-time world champs Serbia and Jimmer Fredette and Team USA, as well as China, stamped their tickets to Paris. Both USA and China also made it with the women, and so did the French hosts.
And then we had a quick succession of 3 nerve-wracking Olympic qualifying tournaments. My heart rate just went all the way up thinking about it.
Yeah, definitely. We had the reigning Olympic champions, Latvia, qualifying with the men, and Azerbaijan making it with the women out of Hong Kong.
Just 3 weeks later, we moved to one of the meccas of 3x3, Japan, where the Dutchmen and Australia's women earned their ticket to Paris.
And last but not least, the absolute proof that 3x3 is the most insane, heartbreaking, jaw-dropping game in the world. In another one of the meccas of 3x3, Debrecen, Hungary, Germany's women qualified on a ridiculous Svenja Bronkhorst buzzer beater, and then Spain made it on a no-look reverse over-the-head shot at the buzzer from Gracia Alonso.
France and Poland also won on a buzzer beater only. Lithuania's men's and Canada's women had the decency to qualify without having us dripping in sweat.
Well, there you go. That's how our 16 teams made it to the games. And did we have to go through a complicated draw to determine the pools in Paris? No, we didn't. If you want to win an Olympic medal in 3x3, there is no hiding. You'll have to go through every single team in the field. Everybody's in the same pool.
So yes, every team will play a minimum of 7 games, and at the end of the pool phase, the top 2 teams in the men and women's category will go straight to the semifinals.
Now, if you're bottom 2, you're out. Thanks for coming. I know you know we like our drama here, so we got you some win or go home playing games between teams ranked 3rd and 6th on one hand and 4th and 5th on the other hand. The winners of these 4 games then join the semifinals too.
And on August 5th, last day of the competition, the most important day of the year.
For 3x3.
For everyone. Semifinals, bronze, and gold medal games. And there you go, getting goosebumps.
Definitely. Now, if you're watching this, you might be following FIBA3x3 on social media already. If you don't, there is just so many reasons why you should. Take our YouTube channel. Outside of the Olympics, we bring you all the games live. Yes, World Cup, World Tour, Women's Series, available for free on youtube.com/FIBA3x3. We bring you the highlights, the top 10s, and the best interviews.
And you know the other reason why they should all follow FIBA3x3 on YouTube and all other social media channels?
Do we really have to do this?
I'm afraid we do. Every day on the show, we'll check how many new followers we gained in the last 24 hours. And if we reach 5,000 new followers, we get Boss to do a challenge.
And what if we don't reach that target?
I don't really see a world where that even happens, but if we do, yes, I'll do the challenge.
All right, well, let's get back to the real challenge here, which is to win an Olympic gold medal, shall we? For the next segment, we'll be looking at the field and who are the favorites to bring back the gold.
Before we get to the player poll and expert prediction, if we just look in recent history, you could name six names come to mind.
Yeah, in the men's competition, I mean, you have to start with Serbia. They have absolutely dominated 3x3 since day one. It's simple. They won 6 out of 8 World Cups in the history of the game, including the last one in Vienna last year. Second team that comes to mind is one of the only other 2 teams to ever win that competition. It's Team USA, who came this close to beating Serbia last year. And of course, we can't sleep on Latvia, who won the one and only Olympic gold medal in 3x3 in Tokyo just 3 years ago.
For the women, Boss, I know what you're gonna say, Greydy's being a homer again, but I mean Team USA are the reigning Olympic and world champs. Based on history, France and China do deserve a mention though. The former won World Cup in 22, the latter in 19, and even struck bronze at the Tokyo Olympics.
Now, Greydy, I got a question for you. Do you think players believe in history?
Of course, I think they do.
Well, they do. We asked a panel of players who compete on the 3x3 Pro Circuit at the World Tour and the Women's Series. We actually only polled players who don't have a team in Paris to avoid any other homer picks. And yes, for the men, 48% of the players see Serbia winning gold. United States follow with 27%, then Latvia with 11%, and Lithuania with 9%.
It's a lot more balanced in the women's poll, actually. Well, Team USA is a large favorite with almost half of the votes, but then Australia actually comes in next with 14% and a tie at third place with 11% for both France and Canada.
That's interesting. Now, while players remained anonymous in the poll, you and I and our panel of experts played the extremely dangerous game of predicting every single one of these 68 matches that will be played in Paris. Who did we pick to bring home the hardware? Let's hear from the voice of 3x3, Kyle Montgomery, our Women's Series commentator, Jordan Robinson, and our MC, streamer, and all-around player, The Energy, Vince Chang.
Let's start with the bronze medals. Kangaroos of Australia, they get it done for the women. On the men's side, Lithuania. I thought they might take gold, but I think they'll get bronze this year. Silver medalists, women's side. Oh, Canada, they're going to come so close, but they're going to run into a powerhouse. On the men's side, the red, white, and blue. United States, they're right there, but it's still Serbia's time. So Serbia get my gold for the men. And the women's side, China, gold 2024 Paris.
Quick look into my women's final six. We got Germany, Canada, Spain, and for bronze, I got going China. Yes, Lily Wang, she's gonna do her thing. And then France, the hometown team, they're gonna take home silver because USA is going back to back for golds, baby. Ryan Howard, De'Ara Kahambi, Van Lith, and the queen herself, Sierra Burdick. That is a recipe for success. Now over to the men. For six, I got France, fifth, USA, fourth, Poland, bronze. I got Netherlands, silver for Serbia, and Latvia. How can you go against Las Manes? They are also gonna go back-to-back gold medals. No new winners over here. So I got USA for the women's and Latvia for the men's. I hope I'm right, fingers crossed.
Chang's not around when it comes to the Paris 2024 FIBA3x3 Olympics. We're going to go from gold to bronze. My men, it's going to be Serbia, Latvia, USA. My women, USA, Australia, Canada. Serbia got Dejan Majstorovic and Strajina Stojic. They're going to be working together. They want redemption. They don't want bronze. They want gold. And also Latvia has that Batman and Robin combination once again with fresh legs. Ooh, it's going to be beautiful to watch. And also, USA, I believe in you, okay? Y'all my boys. And I hope this lights a fire for you because minimum, you're going to be on the podium, but I want you guys to fight. And here's the thing. When you go to LA 2028, I want you either thriving for gold or keeping the gold, all right? And Netherlands, I see in the background. With my women, it's going to be Canada has been working throughout the entire women's series. That blue sister combination is going to be absolutely majestic. But here's the thing, France is going to be in that round. But then also Australia, there's no little reason why they are not in the Olympics. They know how to ball 3x3 from down under. And USA, what can I say? Two WNBA players, okay? Haley Van Lith been playing since she was 16. And also the reason why they're going to win is the experience and leadership from the one and only Sierra Burdick. She is the most experienced female 3x3 player from the USA. And she's going to be the pinnacle reason why they're on that podium. All right? Chang's decision. Prove me right. FIBA3x3 Olympics 2024.
Wow, that was fast. But anyway, boss, I think they got it all wrong because what will really happen, and you heard it here first, is that Serbia will win the only title they're missing after beating Latvia in the final. Jimmer and Team USA will strike bronze, and in the women's category, I'm not saying it will be easy, but USA will go back-to-back. Australia gets silver and Canada wins bronze. There you go. And now to hear about what will not happen, we have Boss's medal predictions.
As far as predictions, Grady, I'm Kobe, you're McGrady. Sorry to say, but neither Serbia nor the USA will win gold with the men in Paris. Worthy de Jong will steal the spotlight and the Dutch will win it all. Team USA will get silver, Latvia will strike bronze. I know I'm not making any friends in Serbia and I have nothing but respect for the guys, but I do think they will fall short again on the Olympic stage. With the women, I don't have Team USA winning any medal either. Australia for the win, France for silver, Canada for bronze.
It's the confidence for me, but some pretty hot takes from our 7-foot Mamba. Kobe could shoot his free throws without an Achilles though. My partner over here, not so much. Every morning before the show, we'll do a little free throw contest. The loser has to sneak in 3 words selected by the winner in a segment of the show. So boss, please have fun using the words salsa, sunshine, and shopping as we are calling one of our experts, Vince Chang.
All right, so let me give this a shot. So, he's the sunshine at 3x3. He speaks faster than a salsa dancer moves his feet. And he's the man when I call when I need to go shopping for new shoes. Welcome to our man, Vince Chang.
Mountain? I think the air's a little thin up there. There's something wrong with your hand. Where did you get those 3 words?
I'm trying. What up, Vince?
How you doing, big dogs? Great to see y'all. Y'all killing it. I mean, I'm so excited for this Olympics. Thank you so much for having me.
Vince, we had some pretty stunning moments already at the games. What did you think about Snoop Dogg making an underhanded free throw with a 3x3 ball?
1, 2, 3, and in the 4. Snoop Doggy Dogg at the bottom. Let him score. It's nothing but a G thing, baby. 3x3 is the game that's crazy. Yeah, are you kidding me? Snoop Dogg is perfect for his energy is crazy, but when he said Ric Flair, Rick James, Rick Barry, I mean, what more can you ask for? Plus supporting the USA team, I love it. I want to keep him there every single year.
Now, Vince, I know you saw the news come out yesterday. Dusan Bulut announced his retirement. What was your first reaction?
I mean, this man has given so much to 3x3, being one of the #1 top ballers ever when it comes to this game. You know, he's the founder of Novi Sad Serbia before it's all just Serbia. And what his contribution has done has made this into a global scale, all right? Dusan Bulut, with his crazy handles, his intellect, definitely allowed 3x3 to get this level of the Olympics. And when he finally, retired those laces, I mean, I think it's about time. He's given so much. I mean, he even came out of quote-unquote retirement getting that bronze for Serbia in the Tokyo Olympics. So it's sad, but also you got to give him some grace. It's like when you see a great one retire, and rest in peace of Kobe, even when Jordan retired, you're like, you know what? They did what they need to do for the game. Now it's time to pass on or to torture somebody else. So I was sad, but I'm also happy for him.
Well, Vince, thanks for hopping on the show. We'll be happy to have you on again tomorrow before you focus on the game. Stay safe.
So every day on the 10-minute sprint, we'll be taking a question from a fan. And today we had a question from a former Olympian, actually.
Yes. Simon Redoug, who represented Poland at the Olympics in Tokyo, asked, if the Netherlands versus Poland for gold medal game, do I think that is possible? Now, I do think it's possible. It's maybe an outside shot. I do have the Netherlands winning, obviously. For Poland to actually get there, they need the polar bear, Adrian Bogucki, the tallest player by far in this entire tournament, to step up and do his thing. But I do think it's a possibility, definitely.
Thank you for all your questions, and can't wait to answer some more tomorrow.
Because yes, we are back tomorrow around the same time. We'll be able to show a few clips from the men's media day. We'll focus on the stars of 3x3 and have a few guests to talk about who they think are the best players in the game today.
We'll talk about our expert fantasy game, another game I'm pretty sure I'll win. We'll have a full day 1 preview because yes, the 3x3 tournament is starting in just 2 days. This is so exciting. Boss, thank you for being a great co-host, and thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed it, please drop a like, a comment, subscribe, give us a shout out on social. That was the 10-minute sprint, episode 1. We'll be back tomorrow, same place, same time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.